Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, this is Jason Dames with Final Star Fitness. Hey, and we're starting our part 2 of our insulin resistance and why it matters. So we started this series and we're gonna continue this series and take a deep dive into 5 key lifestyle factors that can influence insulin in a positive way. So that way you can reduce your risk of chronic disease and finally start to lose weight. Okay, so what are these 5 key lifestyle factors that I'm talking about? Now, a lot of you guys may have watched my channel in the past and you already hear me say it all the time, but you might be new to this channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it anyways, and it's gonna be your nutrition, exercise, sleep, stress, and toxins. So let's just start with nutrition and how it impacts insulin in the body. So one of the biggest levers that you can pull when it comes to reducing the amount of blood sugar in the body and reducing insulin resistance is to eliminate a lot of the carbohydrates, in particular the processed refined carbohydrates. This is why I highly recommend a ketogenic diet for a weight loss strategy. Now, you may remember on the last video that I described how when you're insulin resistant, you're not able to properly digest, assimilate, and absorb carbohydrates or sugar for energy. So if this is you and you keep ingesting more carbohydrates, then essentially the pancreas has to release more and more insulin to be able to compensate for the lack of sugar getting into the cells. So this ends up exacerbating or furthering your insulin resistance, causing you to store more fat. Let me give you an analogy to help you understand. So the analogy goes like this. Imagine you ordered a pizza and the pizza delivery guy shows up, knocks on the door, you open up the door, and then you got 100 delivery guys out there, each with a pizza. And you're like, dude, I just wanted one, right? You're like, what is going on, right? So instead of the Pizza Hut delivery guys leaving, the pizza place ends up sending 50 more pizzas with 50 more dudes, and you're like, I just wanted one. This is what it's like when insulin is trying to deliver glucose or sugar into the body. You keep ingesting more carbohydrates, which means there's more sugar inside of the blood, so the pancreas has to release more insulin. The cell then is rejecting it because it doesn't need it, and then the pancreas releases more insulin, and the vicious cycle goes on. And meanwhile, the sugar ends up getting converted into triglycerides, which is your stored form of fat. This essentially, when you're insulin resistant, is why you're not a very good fat burner. So the moral of the story, guys, is breaking the cycle of insulin resistance is super critical. And one of the best ways that you can do that is to lower or limit the amount of carbohydrates and sugar that you're actually consuming. Now, another tool that you can utilize that works really synergistically with the ketogenic diet is called intermittent fasting. Now, I know a lot of you have heard of it. It's the biggest buzzwords around the internet. This means that essentially you would eat all of your calories for the day in a time-restricted window. Typically, it's around a 6 to 8 hour time frame. I definitely recommend finding somebody that's a coach that can help you along, figure out what's the best approach for you. Sometimes people do like a 4 to 6 hour window. And again, it all goes back to what your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. Now, the reason why it works so synergistically with the ketogenic diet is that you're going long periods without actually ingesting food into the body. So ultimately, it helps you to get into a state of ketosis a lot faster. And when ketones start to rise in the blood, it really stabilizes insulin. So essentially the ketones, they're stabilizing sugar in the blood, therefore preventing the pancreas from releasing more insulin. Ultimately, when you put this stuff together, guys, you're reducing inflammation in the body, which is gonna help you balance out hormones and help you to become a better fat burner. So in the words of my charismatic preachers out there, can I get a witness? Whoop, whoop. So this is gonna wrap up part 2 of our insulin resistance and why it matters video. In future videos, guys, we're gonna give you tips and tricks, things that you can do to implement the ketogenic diet, nutritional strategies, recipes. We're gonna give you mechanics, execution, workout routines. We're gonna build programs for you. We're gonna give you all the goods. So make sure that you like, subscribe, share our channel. We love you guys. We'll see you on the flip side. God bless and peace.